Hey everyone, it's Christina. It's like 1:40 in the morning and I had nothing better to do than make you this video. So for those of you too lazy to read the minutes, I got your back. Our last stewards meeting was February 12th and I'm here to give you a quick update about what we talked about at that meeting. So for bargaining, our last bargaining session was in February. For those of you that came, thank you. I'm sorry it wasn't more exciting. Basically, it was right after we had boycotted our all-service in-service, and McGill proposed that they wanted a month to put together a working group and write up a code of conduct or guiding principles for the floor fellow role, which is hopefully the value system which we wanted to see. They wanted to continue bargaining during that month, other articles on our agenda, but we said we wanted to not bargain and give them a month and then see what they had proposed. So our next meeting time is March 13th, so we'll see. We're hopeful that, they're starting to take us seriously and understanding that there are some things that we really want to see written down in the collective agreement, particularly like harm reduction or anti-oppression approach res philosophy, so we're hopeful about that. You're all welcome to come to our next bargaining session on March 13th. They're always held in 688 Sherbrooke, and we start at 9 a.m., but if you have class, you can always just text me and come in later during the day. They're pretty broken up, so we kind of meet formally with the McGill side, and then we just meet with like our own side in a room for like half an hour and discuss. So it's quite like a chill environment that you're welcome to join in on if you want. We also talked about mobilization, so because we're not bargaining this month, we're working on some other things. So first of all, Julia and Heather are working on a motion that we want to get endorsed by different student associations on campus, so really just trying to get like student awareness of what's going on and get their support. Obviously a lot of people have lived in res, so it's relevant for them. Also, we've drafted a letter to be signed by past floor fellows and directors, just in support of us pushing for getting these values in our collective agreement and of our bargaining team in general. So I've added the link to that in this email, so feel free to send that to past floor fellows and directors to sign, or take a look at it yourself if you'd like. We are drafting one for current students and floor fellows that we'll be sending your way shortly. We've also been talking a lot about buttons, but nobody has a brilliant idea of what to put on a button. So if you do, please tell us, because we're just obviously not as creative as we wish we were. Also, I want to just talk about the CNT case. So for those of you that don't know, a group of floor fellows during the summer signed on to a case with the CNT, Commission de Normes de Travail, of Quebec, basically filing for back pay for like the past year that we worked as a floor fellow. So for some people who graduated, it was only for last year floor fellowing, but for people returning like myself, it was last year plus this year. So that's been going on for over 6 months, and we were being investigated, and finally in December we were told that we needed to submit some proof of the hours that we had worked. So those of us on the case put together an Excel document of floor teas, team meetings, etc., just accumulated hours over the past year, or for myself, year and a half floor fellowing. And we recently heard news, which was really exciting, that the CNT ruled in our favor, saying that we should be paid minimum wage for those hours that we had specified that we had worked, which for some people comes up to a claim of $11,000, which is amazing. So we're waiting to see what McGill's response is. Most likely they will refuse to pay us that amount, and then beyond that it will get taken to court. So some of you may have received this letter, which is from a lawyer at the CNT. Basically, she's been assigned to our case and wants to get in touch with us about potentially having to testify in court. This is standard. This is what we expected. It's also likely that we'll settle with McGill before ever going to court. And this is not probably happening anytime soon. It is important, though, that if you have changed your address or a phone number than when you originally signed on to the CNT, please let me know, because that's important. And also for floor fellows this year, this might be a useful way to get reimbursed in the future, because as a CNT has ruled that we should be paid minimum wage for the hours worked. So, you know, we have an Excel spreadsheet that we can send to you if you want to keep kind of logging your hours. Logging your hours is something that we didn't want to have to do, but if you do want to just informally start jotting this down, or even just keeping a journal, it might be useful in the future. So if you want, you can do that. Also, I have some great posters here that Evan made, basically just saying what our core values are in res and just support the bargaining team. If you want them for your door, for your room, I have tons of them, so let me know. I also have this zine that Simi made this summer. It's really great. It just has a whole bunch of interviews from floor fellows dating back to like 2006 or something. Really helpful just to get a perspective of, you know, our history working with res and unionization. A lot of different perspectives in here. Really interesting read. So if you want one, I have lots, so just message me. And that's about it. I'm going to stop boring you to death and go to bed. So I hope to see you all soon. Bye!